I mean, that's what I've got because I'm not a fan of tattoos. I don't.
But where did you read this again?
This was
Internet?
This was on the internet. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just don't understand why people do it. That's what got me attention. Because me.
Sorry, what have I learned from this?
That if you wanted to get one, you know, you can get one done by a machine now. You know, people say machines are sort of taking over and that, and there's another one. But it's just the fact. I mean, I don't know.
So give us the snappy title of this education again.
Why don't they just get a diary or some paper or something to write it on? That's what I always think when I see people with loads of tattoos. Like there's that fella who we were talking about the other week in Scotland who was covered 99% in tattoos. It's just like, what have you done that for?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't get rid of it now. You've done it now.
Yeah.
One of my uncles, right, Tattoo Stan, he's just caked in them.
Right.
I don't think he's my proper uncle, but it's just like my dad's got.
Tattoo Stan.
No, my dad's got.
That's a province in Russia, isn't it?
My dad's got loads of mates who.
When you say he's not your proper uncle,
do you know, like when someone comes around, alright, Uncle Stan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And my dad had loads of mates like that. There was John the Screw.
right?
So he either works in a prison or he likes to have sex.
Cabby. Cab driver.
Okay.
There was Jimmy the Hat. I don't know what he
Jimmy
did.
the Hat.
Yeah. And
did he wear a hat?
No.
No.
There was Fred the Veg.
You sure he wasn't a relative?
Sorry.
Fred the Veg used to get us like big bags of potatoes and that.
Fred Veg, okay.
And there was Tattoo Stan. Right. And he was just caked in them, and I used to always look at him thinking, why have you done that? I must have only been like, you know, 6
I
or
suppose
7.
if you're born with a name like Tattoo Stan,
exactly.
you're destined, aren't you,
were
really?
they like a 1950s gang?
I'm worried about, I'm worried about
doing a bank job.
What was his name? The Hat? What was his name?
Jimmy the Hat.
I'm worried about Jimmy the Hat.
Yeah.
Not having a hat.
I don't understand it.
Are you sure he didn't have a hat?
Not when I met him.
Did he ever wear a hat?
I didn't see him that much.
Do you think it was a joke, like, you know, when your mate's sort of like, you know, 8 foot and huge, you call him Little John or Tiny? Do you think?
Well, the fact that he never wore a hat.
They went, hold on, I've noticed something about Jim. Go on. No hat. And I go, oh, true, let's call him Jim the Hat.
Jimmy the Hat, yeah. But my Uncle Stan, he had like loads of them. He did them himself.
Oh dear.
And it was always that thing.
What was it? Things like
he had like the
cross
cut here,
made in Britain.
And if you're going to do them yourself, I'd say at least make sure you're sort of a good drawer.
Yeah.
And don't do it in the mirror so it comes out backwards.
Well, that was the other thing. But like, I remember he did. I mean, names were all right. He had like all his kids' names down his arm. And,
what are they called?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's
Tattoo Stan Jr.
Yeah.
And
Paul shits the bed.
I'm trying to.
Oh, Wabbai Kate.
yeah.
Well, he had,
Frankie never amounts to anything.
Oh God.
So he had like
Johnny, I don't think he's mine.
So he did all this. I don't even know why I'm telling you about Tattoo
No,
Stan.
nor do I, Carl.
Hey,
to be honest,
I don't know if maybe you just have to picture this. But my sister had to take a photo once. She was working in like a factory, not to denigrate people who work in factories, but there happened to be a particularly oddball, kind of lank-haired, weird guy living, working in this factory, and he did his own tattoos, and she took a photo of it because she was so extraordinary. He'd drawn it himself. Now, bear in mind, it was the kind of thing you saw when you were doing art when you were like 15. This is the sort of person who designed their own like heavy rock album cover.
Yeah.
He's that sort of person. So, I mean, like,
was it a dragon with breasts?
You're not far off, Rick.
No.
You're not far off. I'll tell you what it was. He had this tattooed on his back. It took up his entire back. She took a photo of it for me. He drew it himself. He had it tattooed himself. And it was just too much detail. Too much detail for a tattoo. It needs to be fairly simple, I think, to make a tattoo. It was... it was a naked female vampire having a shower.
Why was she having a shower?
Having a shower, well, that's why she was naked.
Yeah.
And so she was
presumably,
she'd been out
a lot of blood. Well,
Yeah, well, she was naked, so you could see her naked body.
Yeah.
She's quite a beautiful vampire,
Yeah.
relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Although the symmetry of her face was somewhat off.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that gave
Well,
it
he
away
had a bad spine.
was that she did have some pointed teeth. I
Right.
think that was how you knew she was a vampire.
Right. Was she
But
looking?
the fact that she was having a shower was
Yeah, that
very
is
specific,
weird, isn't it?
But he sort of drawn in all
he
the-
said
all
to
the-
he said to the eye, I said, listen, I want a naked bird, right? But I don't want it to be gratuitous. He goes, well, you can put her in a shower, because then they went, pop her in the shower.
That at least gives some kind
Yeah,
of
that's the
justification for
plot.
an
That's the
instant,
plot. I mean, you know, it's justified within the story if she's in a shower. Sure. Okay. Yeah, we'll have that. Carl.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Any other nicknames your friends of your family had?
What was your nickname, Carl?
just Pilky, really.
Because for a minute I thought Carl the Veg would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah, Carl the Veg. And why has your dad got a little tattoo, Dopey Twat, on his arm?
Right, we'll do the answers to Rockbusters next, yeah?
Brilliant.
Buzzcocks. Still sounds brilliant, that.
It is a cracker.
They're from Manchester as well, Carl. So they've got a little bit of pride there, eh?
I think one of them's one of my mates' dads.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
What's his nickname?
Well, his name was, I don't really want to say his name.
Oh, okay.
Laurie, his first name was.
Yeah. Still is, probably.
Yeah. He was a good
And
lad.
what, you know those little fellas at school that didn't know each other, weren't related and weren't friends because it would be too obvious, that they had webbed hands and big heads?
Yeah.
What were they, did they have any nicknames?
Again, too obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, oh, big head, or, you know.
Sure.
Oh, I bet you're good at juggling, or...
Frog twins.
Yeah.
Can I just interrupt you guys, because we've just had an email here. I hate to query you, Carl, and your educating Ricky sections. I know you put a lot. Don't read this. Let me just read it for you. Just had an email here from Olivia, and this is also being corroborated by someone else. I forget who it was. She just tuned in, and she just heard you explaining the expression "letting the cat out of the bag."
Sure.
It's all to do with cats that were put in bags by dodgy butchers, possibly the 17th century. We're not too sure. Anyway, she claims. Well, let me see. She says she uses both the words twaddle and crap. In relation to your definition. She says letting the cat out of the bag is an old shipping expression from when sailors used to get flogged for their misdemeanours. The cat
Letting the
is
cat,
the
of
cat
course
of
it
nine
is.
tails,
Of
which
course it
is
is.
a kind of whip thing that they used
Yeah.
to keep hanging in a bag below deck. If it was discovered that a sailor had done something wrong, the cat would be let out of the bag and get a whipping. Of
course it is.
Don't let the cat out of the bag, meaning to cover something up which is
She's
secret.
talking nonsense,
No,
right?
she's not. That's
She
the
is.
truth. That's
Because
the
the
truth.
one I read about that was there's not enough room in here to swing a cat, right? And that was people who worked on a boat.
Yeah, well,
and
that's
they
the
had
same
a
way.
whip.
Well, that's fine. They
It's
could
the
have two
same one.
expressions for the
They're not
same
going to
thing.
keep going on about people working on a boat to get loads of sailors.
You can't have two phrases about the same thing. They're not
These sailors have
going to
got
be going.
nothing to do with their time.
Think how many
just coming up and stuff.
Think
like
how
that.
many metaphors have birds in them, and you know it's ridiculous. Why can't you have? You can have as many sayings as you like about anything, Carl.
Yeah,
There's
well,
not a rule.
whatever.
They don't go. We've made one up about the cat and nine tails.
Well, cheers for that, Oliver.
Olivia.
Olivia.
Yeah.
Don't see your email coming up with the Rockbusters answers, so let's
You better give us the answer
let's
again.
give them out. The first one was you've been dunking that for too long.
Yeah.
That was LB.
Limp Biscuit.
Limp Biscuit.
Yeah, got that one.
The third one, we'll jump to that one because you've got it. Well, I've had a rubbish day, so I'm happy it's all over. That was GK.
That's a great one.
That's
Gladys Knight.
Glad it's night. Glad it's night. That is
night.
brilliant, Carl.
And the one that you're both having a problem with, you won't be able to play that game in this pub. The table ain't big enough. FD.
Go on.
Fats Domino. Yeah?
What?
The dominoes, you play dominoes in a pub. The dominoes fat. Pub tables are quite small. You won't be able to play that game in this pub. Fats Domino.
Rubbish.
So, do you want to pick a winner? Random
Rubbish.
winner? Random
Well,
winner.
you say it's rubbish, but plenty of people got the right answer.
Rubbish.
Who do you want to go with?
The bunch of slightly rubbish prizes is going to Elliot K from Chigwell in Essex. Well done to Elliot.
I just before we go, can we just get a little email off Anders because I think he must. Well, I think we've probably turned him round with this show.
I'd have thought so.
I think he's going to be saying, coming to us with his tail between his legs, saying, "Sorry lads, a blinding show. I was wrong. You were right."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
Song for the Lovers is very exciting this week.
Yeah, we haven't had a song for the lovers or the ladies for quite some time. Let's
Yes,
combine the
that's
two.
what I mean.
And a bit
Sorry.
of John Martin, May You Never. Let's end with
Beautiful
that this week. We'll see you
track.
next time.
so yeah.
Bye.
Well, I went for a what's her name, Steve. You don't know. I've had problems with my legs.
Oh. Christ almighty.
He's the same. What are you? 33.
He's a hypochondriac.
And you talk like you're a 70-year-old
honestly, the slightest thing, he's got time off work for this. We went to the dentist 3 times in 1 week. He goes, now his leg's rubbed 2 times a week for some reason.
I don't.
In and out of the kidney hospital, and they're going, there's no kidney stone, Mr. Pilkington. He's going, oh, right. Christ almighty, do some fucking work.
No, the thing is, I've been, in the last, like, 30-odd years, I've been working hard, and I've let my body get run down a bit.
How have you, like, you're 30, what are you?
33.
Right, 33, sorry to start off with such a hard question, but how have you been working for 30 years?
Well, I just have. I sort of, I got on with it.
At 3? At 3?
No, I'm
Well, you
just
didn't
saying.
get on with anything at school, did you? 'Cause you were just kissing about.
Yeah.
You weren't working hard there.
What was the first job you got? How old were you?
I was 15.
Right, okay, so you've been working for 15 years then, okay, good,
Yeah, but I
right.
had my paper round when I was 10, didn't I? And that was hard graft. That's why I'm bald and that. Getting up at 4:30. It all adds up, doesn't it? All adds up. So anyway, I kicked my height when I was a kid.
He always says this, like it's a classic story that everyone should know.
Everyone
and
knows,
also
like-
the phrase "kicking my own height."
Yeah.
Explain what you mean.
Just kicked my height when I was a
Kick
kid.
your. No one understands.
You kicked your leg up to the
kicked
height
me
that
like-
you were at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
if you
kicked
were...
my height. It's not a well-known phrase. You can't just go, "I kicked my height."
So you were 4.5 foot, and you've put your toe up into the air 4.5 feet by kicking.
Yeah, but I landed on my back.
Right, okay. Imagine seeing that in the playground. They go, get Karl Pilkington to kick his height. I bet he falls over like a
It
fucking
wasn't in the
penguin.
playground. My dad got me to do it in the garden.
Brilliant.
Why did
He
you fall
sold
over?
tickets, the neighbours were cracking up. Yeah.
Why did you fall over? Did you hit
I just
yourself in
didn't,
the
I didn't
head?
have to kick the height. I mean, my leg got high up, but I was that chuffed that I got that high, I didn't think of putting my leg down again.
What did he look like? What the fuck did that look like?
He's got to think it all through. I thought it was automatic. In like, you
stayed there.
You sort of stay balanced.
Christ
But you didn't
almighty.
think, well, I'm loving this. This is brilliant, but what should I do now? I got my leg up. I'll just keep it up. Whoa!
He looked like a Hitler salute with his leg. What were you doing?
So anyway, I landed on my back,
Yeah.
and I did some damage, I think. And it's because
Definitely.
of that.
You sure you didn't land on your head?
And it's because of that, like all them years and what have you.
Yeah.
I've had like a trapped nerve in my leg.
Right.
So I thought, right, now's the time to have it done. Because when you get older, I mean, it was the kidney stone thing. Once you've sort of looked at, you know, death and what have you, it just makes you think, got to start looking after
Do you
your
think you
body.
could die of the slightly bad leg that you've had for 15 years?
Well, it
Do you
just,
think that'll eventually kill you?
well, it could do if I can't run away from danger quick enough.
Right. Again, you're thinking of Jurassic Park coming true.
Well, whatever then, I'm just saying, you've got
Yeah.
to look after yourself. You know, if there's anyone listening
could
out
always
there
hop.
who's got a problem, get it sorted.
I'll tell you what
That's all
though,
I'm saying.
if you have to fight off danger and you kick them, put the leg back down immediately after.
So anyway, I went to see this fella, to like a professional leg rubber,
Professional leg rubber.
Yeah.
and he sort of said a few things that were quite interesting. Remember that time when we had a chat on the last lot of like podcasts? I said, "Am I in charge of my brain, or is my brain in charge of me?"
Yeah, do you remember what I said? That's the most stupid thing you've ever said.
Yeah. Well, listen to this then. So I go and see this leg rubber,
Professional leg rubber.
Yeah.
right, and he is professional.
Yeah.
Right. so
Remember, leg rubber. You haven't said doctor at any point in this conversation.
leg rubber.
So this however profound this is, it came from a man who is self-confessed professionally leg rubbing.
not just leg.
Does he do
back,
left and right? Or?
back rubbing as well? He does it all. Right.
Right.
So I'm in
Professional
there,
rubber.
and I didn't mention about how I thought my brain was, you know, was in charge of me and stuff. I'm lying there, he's bending me about and what have you. The first problem he came across is that my nerves aren't long enough for my body.
I don't know.
My nerves aren't long enough for your body.
He was lifting my legs up and I was going, right, stop that a minute, that's certain that. He's like, what do you mean? He said, I've only got them like just about...
Well, that's your tendons.
No, but your nerves are in your legs as well, and your tendons don't hurt, it's your nerves that kick in. It's your nerves that make you go,
Yeah,
"That
but they
hurts."
hurt because your tendons are being overstretched.
Well, I'm just telling you what he said. Right, so he lifted the leg up, and I went, right,
Was
stop
this
doing
above a
that.
laundrette, this surgery?
No, it's a proper place. He had like towels and all that on
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's got towels
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a laundrette.
so I'm lying there.
Other people's towels.
He's got towels,
Halfway through,
underpants,
yeah,
bras.
halfway through he said, you haven't got 20p, have you, for the dryer? Okay.
So I'm lying there, and he lifts the leg up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that hurts a lot. So he said, oh yeah, short nerves. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you know, your outside of the body is longer than your inside.
Right, he doesn't sound like a doctor. He does not sound like a
The
doctor.
outside of your body's longer than the inside.
So he had me lying on my front and what have you, and he was sort of crushing me back.
Right.
And he was going, does that hurt? I said, yeah. It was like 48 quid this as well. Putting me through all this pain and what have you.
Well, you got some good advice, though.
He said, you're pretty stressed. And I said, yeah. So it's, you know, I've quite a bit of stress in my life. And I explained to him about the kidney stones and that. So, you know, that's that.
He went, oh, shut the fuck up.
He probably said that. He said that's where you were probably got a lot of tenseness. And
A lot of tenseness. Is that the phrase he used as a trained professional rubber?
He's a doctor. He's definitely a doctor.
So anyway, he said, do you relax much?
You haven't got any Lenore, have you? I want these sheets to come out nice and soft.
He said, do you, you know, you should learn to meditate or something. He said, because you know, you're all tensed up. We're living in a stressful world, as he told me about it. So when I was telling him that I have problems relaxing, he said, that you're obviously the sort of person
Who's gullible enough to spend 46 quid for this hokum?
He said, you're the sort of person whose brain is in charge of them, rather than them being in charge of the brain.
So all you did was you met a person as stupid as you.
Yeah.
No, but I thought it's interesting that this is what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And he picked up, that was the first visit, that's the first, I'd only been there about 22 minutes.
Yeah.
You get half an hour for 48 quid.
Right.
But he picked up on that within like 15,
No, he saw
20
a right
minutes.
fucking sucker coming. No, he did pick up on that, yeah.
But anyway,
don't go to him again.
The reason, well, I am doing, I've got locked into it. I've got to go at least another 3 times
Why?
and try
What
to
do
get
you
out
mean?
of it. I don't know. I didn't realise that you have to have a minimum amount of things. So what I'm
I
saying
can't
is,
wait. What's the wisdom he's going to come up with next week? That'll be brilliant. I will kind of, yeah.
No, but what I'm saying
Your
is,
blood's paranoid.
we were talking.
You've got jealous bones. You're the sort of person whose stomach's hungrier than you. What absolute fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you know, like how we were talking about eyes, weren't we? He said the thing is, you know, you've got to be able to relax, and the way to do it is to focus. Right? He said, I said, what do you mean? He said, when you go to sleep.
You're the sort of person whose eyes can see further than you can.
He said, when you go to sleep.
Close your eyes and see. Instead of just leaving them open staring at the
But
ceiling.
Carl, keep breathing.
Yeah, keep breathing. Close your eyes. You're not dead. It may seem like it, but you're not. You're just asleep.
So he said.
Oh, fuck me.
He said, what you've got to do when you go to sleep, focus on your toe. Right?
Okay.
He said, just think about nothing else. I said,
He's a witch. Did he say you didn't put a toad under the bed?
no, he just said, focus on the toe and see how you go on and what have you. Next time you come in, let me know. Anyway, I gave this a go, focusing on the toe.
So what does this mean? You mean you sat in bed staring at your toes?
No, this is it. He said, like, lie down,
Visualising
shut
it.
your eyes and sort of look at it, sort of thing. So I was lying there, and it just wasn't working because
Oh, Carl, this isn't medicine.
I was,
You
even
were
though
thinking
my
of a
eyes...
finger.
Well, no,
He found out he was thinking of someone else's toe. Next day,
doesn't
someone
work.
called up and said, Carl, my toe's better.
no, the problem was I was still using my eyes even though I had them shut.
Oh, God! Just when I think he could never come up with something stupid, he pulls that one out of the bag!
Right. So what does that mean?
Oh, God!
You were still using your eyes even though they were shut. What does that mean?
I was straining them. I had them shut, but I was sort of looking down at my foot.
You were trying to see through your eyelids at your toe.
Well, I was looking down, so I'm thinking that's where the foot is. Because of that, I was straining them and they were stinging, so I had to pack it in.
I'm gonna die! I am going to die!
Again, we were talking about me being younger, and the youngest I could remember back to was 1978.
How old were you then?
When
were you born?
72.
What,
it was
you
summer holidays.
you couldn't remember earlier than 6? You
Uh,
can remember back to about 2 or 3, most people. What, you...
no way. No way. My mum and dad don't even remember me then. Because you're not doing anything. This is what I'm saying.
Mum and Dad don't even remember me then! That's amazing!
Because they pinpoint
They remember
things.
all the Tic Tacs they've ever eaten.
Yeah, do you remember when Carl was 6? Of course I do. 5? Yeah. 4? Yeah. 3? No. 2? No!
Because you're not doing anything, are you?
My mum and dad don't even remember me then!
And it's weird.
I remember must have been about 2 sitting on a potty surrounded by Lego. I remember that. Very strong image I have of that.
No, I don't remember that.
No, you wouldn't remember that,
No, you weren't there, were you? What do you mean? What, you don't remember Steve sitting on a potty surrounded by Lego?
No, I mean, I can't remember having a potty. I remember having one of
I'm
them.
not suggesting you have the
You
same
used to
memory.
go on a fucking litter tray. Now I know why, to eat a Tic Tac while you're having a shit.
But, okay, so what is your very first memory?
The one that cropped up the other day was having my eyes sort of glued together by,
Gangsters. Where's the fucking Tic Tacs?
no, I was,
lost our truck for you, yeah.
when I was on holiday and I slept near the window and the window was open and I used to wake up in the morning with my eyes shut. My mum and dad thought I was having a lovely lie-in. I just couldn't open my eyes.
But why? I don't understand. Why were they...
I'm gonna burst! What do you mean?
Why were they glued? Why were they... What do you mean they were glued?
But why didn't you say, Mum, Dad, I'm not asleep. My eyes are glued together.
It's just that you get a build-up on the eyelashes.
Yeah.
And it all...
When they came in, and you could sense them looking
I didn't know
at
they
you.
were there. But anyway.
Anyway, okay then, well, you were tested on Che Guevara. Right, Carl.
We should just, hang on, we should just remind people what happened, because
This is a little series. I've got a lot of these little books, right? They're about, like, 2.5 inches long by about, 2 inches wide. Those tiny little things you see in the, sort of, on the front counter of Waterstones or Smiths, and it's, the Life and Times, a series of all the greats in history. Last week you read about Rasputin, you wasn't impressed.
No.
This week...
This book's a little bit thicker than the Rasputin one.
No, it's the same, I think. Was it? Maybe the writing's
So you're writing or something.
But, okay, Che Guevara. Who was Che Guevara? Just, now, you learnt to pronounce it, right? And how do you remember? You told me the week how you remembered what his name was.
Che is like shake, and his surname is like guitar.
Right.
Shavara.
Okay.
But anyway, right.
Tell us what you know, and we'll ask.
Right. First of all, his name isn't really Che.
Right.
It was something else, and Che means buddy
Okay.
in wherever he's from, Argentina.
Okay.
Right. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So anyway, he was born, and he was.
By the way, Carl's not reading this from a book now. This is all out of his own head.
This is not pre-planned notes.
No, this is. I mean, I know it
Never
sounds written, but he's just
Right,
ripping on this.
here we go.
Go on.
He was born. He had bad asthma as a kid,
Right.
which I thought was quite interesting because they didn't have cars and that back then, and that's what they're blaming asthma on these days. The bad build-up of traffic and that.
Well, they
So,
did have cars, Carl.
not as many as they have now.
Okay.
So that was something I picked up early in the story.
He had asthma, yeah.
His dad was into he wasn't a politician or anything, but he was, they were into the politics.
Sure.
So he sort of grew up around a family who was into, watching the news and that and keeping up to date on what's going on in the world. So that sort of rubbed off on him. He went to school, he was doing stuff on medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to be a doctor, or he thought he did.
Yeah.
Anyway, he learned really quick. He did like 6 months work in about 3 months. So he could have some time off school or something.
Right.
So he took that time off
Yeah.
and went to travel South America with his mate
Okay.
on a motorbike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he saw all this bad going on in the world. And he thought, oh, this is bad, this.
Yeah.
I could do something here. I could change this, make it a nicer place to live. So he said, what I'm going to do is join a gang
Right.
that sort of is against the like the government.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Am I right so far?
Yeah.
You're doing very well.
Right, and the woman who he met, who was like running this gang, is a woman called Hilda, who he later married.
All right.
And Hilda introduced him to Castro,
Right.
who was like the head cheese of the gang,
Right.
who wanted to change things.
Okay.
And so she said, like, this is I think his real name was Engelbert or something like that.
Ernesto.
What?
Ernesto.
She said, this is Ernesto. He does medicine. Should have him in our sort of army. So
Yeah.
when there's injuries and that, he can make people better. Yeah. So he said, yeah, all right then. So he joined the gang, and they went like went to sort of. I'm chopping it down a bit.
No.
Oh, sure. You're condensing it.
It's not in real time.
No.
So anyway, so they go.
It feels like it.
You see, this is why I just wanted you to ask me questions.
Well, listen, let's cut to the chase then. So,
Okay,
obviously he made his name as part of the Cuban Revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what date that was?
About, no, I don't.
Okay. And obviously, so he was a big involvement in that.
Yeah.
In which country was he caught?
It was caught in Bolivia.
Yeah. How did he die?
They executed him.
Yeah.
They shot him, and his last words before he died, right? The guy's there with the gun, and he wasn't scared. He wasn't like crying or anything. He said to the bloke with the gun, he said, "Go on, shoot me. Be a man."
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
and they shot him.
And did it tell you what happened to him after that? His dead body?
No, but Suzanne was telling me about this the other night. She said there's more to it than that. They stuck it in a glass coffin, didn't
Yes.
they?
Yeah.
Well, no, but before that, they cut off his hands and his feet.
and sent them to the.
No, and because they buried them in different places, and then they buried the body. I think they might have sent the hands to Fidel, but they buried him in an unmarked grave because they didn't want anyone to start using his grave or his tomb as a place of martyrdom. But of course, that just made him even more of a martyr because no one knew where he was buried. So it just meant that he was even
but that
more
wouldn't
of an
work
icon.
anyway, because if they did find out, that's more places people can go and sort of grieve. Do you know what I mean? If you've got all these different graves,
What with different parts of his body?
well, you've got a foot over there, and it's like, well, you know, oh god,
His head over there.
thanks for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So all in all,
essentially, what's your summary of Che?
yeah, you like him more than Rasputin, don't you?
A lot better bloke than Rasputin. I can understand why he gets one of those little books. Well worth knowing about, and good bloke. Did a lot, you know.
Crammed a lot into his short life.
Yeah, but yeah, interesting bloke.
Just on the subject of Che Guevara, Steve called me up in the week because he was going through the duty log. We love the complaints on the BBC duty log, and someone had written in because one of the Blue Peter presenters was wearing a Che Guevara T-shirt, and what did the bloke say?
Yeah, this is a series of people can phone in and write and complain to the BBC about different things.
Why would you complain about wearing something?
Well, this was the thing. Is you can phone in, but the best one. I mean, there's been some amazing complaints.
Oh, there's some great ones.
The best one, my favourite one that wasn't a complaint, but was actually just someone had to phone in, was what an excellent edition of Kilroy this morning.
Yeah,
Which
but there's lots of that. There's things like Esther was superb. Woman call one.
Woman called. There was a brilliant one I remember once, which was Robbie Williams was wearing a Nike T-shirt on Top of the Pops last night. Product placement on the BBC.
It's just all
So
things like
pathetic.
that. Yeah.
But anyway, this was one phone call. There was a presenter on Blue Peter. She was wearing a T-shirt with Che Guevara's face on it,
Right.
and someone had written in and said, or someone had phoned in and said, very worried to see a presenter wearing Che Guevara's face on a T-shirt. Are you trying to turn my children into communist revolutionaries?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine who's thinking that. Who's bothering to phone up with that information, Carl?
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to say about this show?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been championing the work of communist revolution.
Luckily, no one listening to this show can either write or operate a phone. So I think we're pretty safe. So thumbs up, Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Well done to Carl there.
Yeah, no, I thought it was
I did
brilliant.
alright, didn't I?
But the thing
Yeah,
is, you keep saying to us you don't understand why history's interesting, and yet you're clearly interested by that. You remembered that
Carl.
information.
I've got another.
Yeah.
I've got a few in the series. Can I give you your next week's homework?
Go on.
There you go.
Oh,
Read it out.
Hitler,
Hitler, the life and times of Hitler.
1889 to 1945.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know much about him?
What was the significance of that last date? Why did he? What was that last date, Carl? Why do you think he died in 1945?
End of the war,
Yeah.
which I'm interested in. So this will have stuff about Anderson shelters and that.
It might not be covered in the Hitler biography, the Anderson Shelter, but
Just check if there is a special Anderson chapter. Anderson Shelter chapter.
Well, I'll look forward to this. It'll be interesting.
Powdered Egg is page 4.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
Alright.
we're going to play a hip hop.
Yeah, it's time for a hip hop hooray. People are absolutely in love with this feature, Rick, as you well know, and I know you're somewhat jealous of it.
Yeah.
This week, I know that Outkast are currently on the playlist, aren't they, with their new single "Whole of the World"? Is that
Yeah.
all? The whole world. Anyway, this is a track from the big compilation Outkast. It's just a sort of compilation of all their greatest hits, and this is a good one. It's called Rosa Parks. Play it, Carl. From their greatest hits album, that's Outkast, and a track called Rosa Parks.
Like it.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah. Now, we just had a call from someone impressed by Carl, and Carl's very pleased because this guy has actually done a PhD on Che Guevara. So in theory, whatever subject he chose, in theory, he's probably one of the experts in the world on this particular field. Now, hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, what's your name?
My name's David.
David, now where did you do your PhD?
At UCL.
Did at UCL, mild college. And what was the actual title of the PhD?
It was Che Guevara's influence on class struggle in Europe in the 60s.
And what did you think of Karl's performance?
I thought he did really, really well. The only thing, I'd never heard those last words before.
So Karl actually knows something you don't know.
Yeah, possibly.
Although you presumably not take that as verified information. You probably wouldn't take everything Karl said as gospel. You'd probably look it up yourself, would you?
I probably would have a look, yeah.
Did you know about babies' eyes?
Sorry?
Did you know that babies' eyes don't grow?
I didn't know that.
You see, that's why you shouldn't take things Karl says as gospel. Because it'll come out with something, you know, vaguely intelligent, and then say, "Did you know about babies' eyes don't grow?"
Any questions that you'd want to test Karl on? Any thoughts? Any things he missed there on the history of Che Guevara?
I think he did really well, and I think he should be congratulated.
Because Karl has problems with understanding why people are interested in history, and even though he's been reading these books, he keeps saying, "Why does anyone care about history? Why is it important?" What would you say to Karl?
I think he should maybe then look at who Che Guevara did influence and why he still influences people today.
Yeah. Well, he knows that he influenced Citizen Smith, and he knows that if McDonald's ever wanted to swap Ronald McDonald for Che Guevara, it would cost him an awful lot of money. So he is trying to apply it to the modern world. He is having a go.
Well, maybe you should think like why Rage Against the Machine have him on their T-shirts.
Good point, Karl. What do you think of that? Why do you think they have him on the T-shirts, Karl?
I don't know. Maybe that was the design of the T-shirt. Maybe they wanted another T-shirt.
Maybe they wanted Ronald McDonald,
but didn't have any in.
Sure.
And they said, "Oh, we'll have that one there." Then.
Well, thanks very much, Dave. Just before you go, do you think Karl would be an interesting subject for a PhD?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, well, if you know,
well, hopefully one day you'll become a professor, and you can maybe set that as some coursework.
I could do, yeah.
Karl Pilkington. Imagine that.
Cheers, Dave.
Imagine having an MA in Karl Pilkington. Thanks very much, Dave.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, bye.
That's good. My teachers never did that.
What encouraged you in that way?
Never said well done. So,
Really?
Yeah.
But you never showed up.
Yeah, you have to be in the same room.
They were too
really.
busy saying, "Who are you?"
yeah.
No, but Mrs. Matthews, me head teacher.
Oh, let's not lay into Matthews again. She's always getting into
not Matty
She
Matthews,
said
not Grimble Matty Matthews.
I'd
we used to call
never
her.
be a high flyer.
If she could see you now. What did she say? You'll never be a high flyer.
She said that to me, mum and dad.
Really?
On a parents' evening.
And
that was after I'd played the drums in Little Donkey.
She clearly didn't know what she was talking about.
April Comes She Will, Simon and Garfunkel.
That was in the days when they kept songs short.
Short and sweet. What do you think of that, Karl? As a track?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you like that, do you?
It's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. That's Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington for you. Coming up on the show, we've got Educating Ricky.
I'm not happy with this.
Oh, really? Because the last few weeks have been genius. What is the drop in quality, is there, of the education of me?
Well, it's just, like I said, I've wasted a lot of time this week searching on the web, right?
You wasted a lot of time searching on the web because you come up with things that aren't true. Why don't you look in books and verified sort of like journals?
The web is the new book, though, isn't it?
No,
the web is the new book.
That's the new
wrong.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been searching, there's hardly anything. I spoke to you in the week, about Monday or Tuesday.
What did you say? There's nothing happened this week in the world.
There's nothing going on. There was a new car wash that you can put dogs in.
There was a car wash you can put dogs in.
That's the only thing that's happened in the world.
And that and the jellyfish, and we've covered that. So, so we've got, I've managed to find some bits, but it's not that good. Rockbusters.
Yeah. Oh, we've really G'd up. So that's coming up. The thing that's not that good.
Yeah. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
Can you just quickly tell us about the car wash with the dog in it?
I don't know what's the
that
story.
didn't make the top three.
I didn't waste that much time on it, to be honest.
What did it say?
He just said, you know, how busy are you? Have you got a dog? How about saving some time? There's some car wash out. It's not a car wash, it's a dog wash. You take it down there, put your coin in, put your dog in, and it comes out clean. See, there's nothing in it.
Is this called a bath, isn't it?
No, but it's like a machine.
Right.
There's a machine. But we'll, you know, that's why I didn't pick it. So we've got some bits coming up. Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Rick, can I just explain some of the prizes we got here for Rockbusters? Because I just want you to try and picture, if you would, the kind of XFM listener who'd particularly want this collection of gifts. You've got the best chill out album ever. This is the one, as I said before, that's largely made up of songs you may have heard in adverts.
Sure.
So you've got the Volvo advert on there.
Yeah,
and the T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. Brilliant.
That's on there. So that's Roy Cobb. So look forward to that. Yeah, again, just imagine which XFM listener is particularly looking forward to Top of the Morning with Terry Wogan. His 2-disc set there. You got it starts with we've got the Bangles on there. We've got Billy Joel, River of Dreams, Shine On by Mr. Christopher. So just look forward to that.
Oh dear.
We got the Only Fools and Horses last year's Christmas special. We gave one of those away last week, but still more to shift.
Do I spy a little free?
Yes, there's a little free three-wheel trotter independent trading three-wheel car, so that's there as well. So as I say, if you like fairly mediocre comedy,
little Jonathan Ross's face there
on the back,
oh.
and maybe you also want Jerry Halliwell's Body Yoga DVD, Rick. So
sure,
that as
that's good quality.
And then just a few token XFM kind of things. We've got the Manic Street Preachers DVD and the U2 best of.
And tell me, Steve, how do the lucky listeners win these?
Rick, I'm glad you've asked. What they do is they email in with the answers to Rockbusters, which is a quiz.
Hold on, how do they email if we don't know the email address?
Rick, again, thanks for asking. Thanks for flagging that up. Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. That'll be coming up shortly. Try and get into the mindset of Karl Pilkington. A lot of people have been trying to email in answers, trying to think through kind of logically, or maybe based on the rules that they've picked up over the years.
Or when he says it in a correct clue, they believed him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you've just got to think more like a mentalist to try and win.
First of all, the prizes that I source every week.
Explain yourself.
What I said to you we're doing between now and Christmas, because this is just a few weeks till Christmas.
Right.
I thought I'd make up sort of family packs.
Okay.
That the winner can have something, say like there's a nice U2 album in there, right? So the winner might want to keep that, but they can get rid of the Jerry Yoga thing.
They can give Only Fools and Nurses to Uncle.
To the dad.
To the dad, yeah. I think the mum would love the Terry Wogan.
Yeah. The yoga for your sister.
Right.
Yeah. And all that.
So that's what you thought through, was it? Or was it that there was a load of junk in the office?
Or did you scoop them up with 2 arms and it's as much as you could carry down the corridor?
Yeah. A little bit of that. But that's me workings on why you've got all that.
Okay. Brilliant, that's excellent.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
That's coming up.
And me mum sent some more.
What we also needed
he's got a letter from his mum.
My mum did some more Rockbusters for us.
I reckon they're secretly listening, Karl. They've said they're not listening, but I reckon they are. Does that worry you?
Well, let's play a record and let's hear your mum's Rockbusters.
Better Warren G.
Well done.
Regulate. I hope Nate's involved.
Regulate anything. I hope so.
But you can't be in Nirvana. You know you're right on XFM 104.9. I had to meet the doctor for this fight thing in the week, and it's the one who's off Big Brother.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah, and but she's a medical doctor and she's sort of big in the boxing sort of world as well. And one of the tests, I had to do a punch test. The other test I had to do was to get in the bod pod.
Really? The same as Fat Swallow?
Yeah.
And he wiped it down since he was
yeah. And I was a little bit nervous. And
so what does this do? What exactly does it do?
What it does, you do a displacement sort of calibration with a known volume.
Alright, just bear in mind that Karl's listening, so if you want to explain that.
What it does, Karl, is it works out your density.
Okay,
right? Through displacement, it knows how much what your volume is for the air displaced, right, in this thing. And
in layman's terms, what does it tell you?
Would it work?
It tells you. It knows what muscle weighs, it knows what fat weighs, it knows your average density of your skeleton, what height you are, so it works out from your volume and your density, it can work out, therefore, probably what percentage of that is muscle, fat, bone, etc.
What if you put in one of those,
oh god.
No, go on then.
No, go on, what were you gonna ask?
What would he do if you put in one of those pug dogs?
One of those what?
What do you mean, what would it do?
What, like on Ricky's lap?
No.
Do you know those dogs that are all wrinkling, have got too much skin for the skeleton? Yeah. And it's all like caving in and folding over. Yeah. Would the machine go, well, we know what you are, so it's alright? Or would it say, oh, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean? Like last week when you were laughing
Why
at
do you
me
want
about-
to? Why do you want to confuse machines? Do you remember when he put in Y to a computer search engine to try and confuse it? I love the fact I want the computer to come back. Why not? And your head explode. I mean, I love the idea that you're trying to. What? I mean,
It's better than what I thought you were going to say, which is, what if you put a fly in there?
Well, I
you
heard
come back
about
half
that.
man,
I
half
don't
fly.
let fly in, yeah. But anyway.
So anyway, what percentage of you is muscle and what percentage of you is fat?
I'm 25% fat.
25% fat.
Yeah.
Now what's Rick
And,
Waller? He
most,
was like
and most of
90%,
me is
wasn't
muscle. Bone don't see that. Rick Waller was 60% fat, which I've looked into it, and apparently is exactly the same as a pork scratching.
he? Wow, that's extraordinary.
So he is
Yeah.
the equivalent of a 30 stone
a
pork
giant pork
scratching. Yeah.
So is 20% fat, is that good or bad?
No, 20%'s alright, 25's over.
Right.
Men, healthy, fit, lean men, about 18, 20. I'm
Right,
25.
so you're a healthy, fit, lean man?
No, 18, I'm 25.
Oh, you're 25?
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
so
right.
I'm 5%, over. And a boxer that is in peak, you know, with that, basically, you've seen the ones, they just look, you know, like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
They're 8%.
8%, wow.
fat. So,
Is that
I mean,
good for you?
well, I don't think it's that bad for you. I mean, you know, you need a bit of fat.
Bruce Lee supposedly, I mean, there's so many rumours, I'm sure you're fascinated by them, Carl, conspiracy theories surrounding Bruce Lee's death.
Yeah.
One of which is that his body was, it's at the peak of physical perfection. He had an aspirin because of a headache, and it reacted with his, because just the impurities in the aspirin killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're nodding.
Because it's sort of like quite interesting and a bit weird.
Yeah,
He'll have
yes, that's fact.
He'll have,
Well, are you aware of the fact that supposedly he actually cheated death, he actually faked his own death so he could work undercover for the Hong Kong police? Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Do you believe that as well? Not so convinced.
Dunno.
Do you believe he could kill a man by putting all his energy into a trembling hand and touching him and every blood vessel burst?
Well, it's just another form of trickery, isn't it? I mean, you met up with Darren, didn't you? Old
Met up with Darren Brown, yeah.
Darren Brown.
Yeah, he's incredible. Yeah, he's probably the Britain's best illusionist, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
I'll
You
talk
can put that
about
on a poster if you want.
Tell you what, though, right? Changing the subject a bit. We were
on.
talking about a fly getting in that pod.
Yeah.
Read in the week when I was searching for stuff to educate, you know, the Educate Ricky section, which we will be
Do you want to
ditching.
answer that phone, because it's annoying me? Who's phoning?
I don't know, it's obviously someone who doesn't know that you're talking at the moment, so leave it.
Let him finish the point, let him finish the point.
It could be,
Leave it.
it could be the head of...
Leave it.
Yeah, go on.
Could be the head of XFM?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so scared.
No,
Awards party. We must
No, I won't be embarrassing him. I going, don't call me when I'm working.
Nice, right. Fighting
Yeah.
against the machine. High
Yeah.
five.
Yeah.
Raging against the machine.
So anyway, yeah, right, we were talking about flies getting in a pod. And do you know, like, how, a Barbie doll, if it was real, it wouldn't be able to work. Do you know what I mean? A Barbie doll, if a woman had the
Proportions.
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to tie her shoelaces up and stuff, because her legs are too long for her back and all that. Flies, scientists can't work out how they fly.
It's a bee.
It's a bee. It's a bee, not a fly.
No, a fly as well.
No.
A fly is, apparently its body is like too big for its wings, and they still can't work it out.
Yeah.
How it flies.
Which in your mind says what? Something spooky going on there?
They have worked out that it's the fact that what they do, the wing actually beats a ridiculous about 150 times a second, so it displaces air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have
I know
worked
what you
out.
mean. I know what you mean. It's incredible that it can fly because it's got such small wings.
Yeah. Alright.
And it's a bee, not a fly.
So, yeah, but other than that, good point.
Bowie.
Another classic. Be My Wife off the Low album, David Bowie.
Well, nature chucks up odd things, doesn't it?
Don't. Why are we starting on this again?
No, I'm just saying that is nature. Now and again, you'll get stuff that.
Oh, was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Look at his fucking head. Look at his stupid round fucking orangey head and... Oh.
Why aren't you a freak? You've got a little bald head. We're not meant to be bald.
Well, I was. I think that's the thing. That's what nature's done. You see, I didn't do anything with my hair when I had hair. I didn't style it. I didn't do anything with it, and it probably thought, "What am I doing here?" Whereas people who love their hair and they comb it and have different styles and look after it, they have hair for ages.
Nonsense, absolute
Well,
nonsense.
well, you're saying that.
Absolute
Well,
nonsense.
it's a little bit weird, then, isn't it?
And that's what happens with old people once they lose their, you know, will to live. Once they lose the job, they get old. What's my purpose? What am I doing here? And it's like nature goes, you're not needed, and they die. Maybe that's what happened with the dodo. What's it doing? Can't fly. Its wings are useless. Eat it. Tastes horrible. Kill it.
No, they did eat
Nature.
it. I think they did eat it.
Yeah, but it wasn't very nice, was it?
I think they over-farmed it. I think that's why it was extinct. Because they did eat it.
No, but they did eat it, but they didn't like it. Everybody, you never saw like a fully eaten carcass of a dodo.
You're
It
making
would be
this up
half
again.
eaten.
All conjecture.
No, but they didn't eat it all. Everybody would probably try it and go, it's not for me, that.
But you don't know
No
this.
idea,
You
you're
don't
just
know
making
this.
it up.
What's this based on? That
just-
people... And also, why would that kid it out?
Because I'll tell you why. Because if it's not nice, people don't get another one in. And they die out. The reason we've got loads of chickens and loads of cows is because we eat them. If we ate polar bears, we wouldn't be short of them. Because you'd farm it, you'd take more care, but what's a polar bear doing? Sat on a block of ice floating about. It's no use to us, is it? It sounds harsh.
Once
it's
again,
no
got
use.
his information from a Glacier Mint
No,
advert.
but it's no use to us. We know they're there, and it's all very sad when you see them on the news sort of struggling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them stronger.
What would you do for your doctor? And I came to you and went, Carl, listen, I'm having a bit of a rethink of these. The penis, I hate it. I hate this cock.
But what do you mean you hate it?
I hate it. I don't want it there. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It just sits there resting on these fucking awful testicles that I'm gonna get rid of. I want this thrown away.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, they're not a great look. I know that. Everyone knows that. It's just the way they are. I mean, if we're all being honest, they're an odd design. I don't think anyone likes their own, do they? That's why we cover them. They're not a great thing, are they?
What's this not why we cover them though, is
It's
it?
part of it, I think. I think deep down, I mean, even if, like, I know you ate the Adam and Eve thing, but even if back then he was like, good God, cover them up. Even he had a leaf on.
No, but listen. So, are you thinking fundamentally then that aesthetically the testicles and the penis isn't as good as it could be? What would you have there instead?
Well, it's designed that way because that's the way it's got to be designed. It's more about function than
Yeah.
and that's the thing, isn't it? With modern technology,
You need, you know, the thing is the testicles have to be outside because they have to be a few degrees below body temperature.
yeah.
Otherwise, the Sertoli cells die, which sort of feed to semen and all that. So, they, you know, to be functioning and sort of like fertile, they have to be outside, which is annoying because I'd put a little rib cage around them, like that. I'd pop a rib cage round those, protect them, wear a cricket box, have that built in, so you cannot get a swift kick in the bollocks that
but
makes you
it'd
feel sick.
But it'd be better if they could sort of reverse up in a way that they were hidden away, so
Yeah.
that they were just. Then you dropped them. It's like, right, we need to cool them down. Be at it in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Drop them down.
Yeah, like the gear on an aeroplane, landing gear. Yeah, and landing gear down, and the bollocks and the cooling down. Or you could just pop them in the fridge for 10 minutes.
It's
Well,
like
they could detach and you could pop them in the fridge. Cool them
Yeah.
down.
Can you make me some breasts?
easy.
Okay. Go on, you say easy, what are you going to do? What's your plan?
Just how do you do that? It's tablets, isn't it?
No, but...
Testosterone, isn't it?
Testosterone.
Toblerone. I want some Toblerone.
Just well, sort of pointy tits, like Madonna.
Where do you stop, though? Supposing I came to you and said, Doctor, listen, I like the bollocks, I like the penis, but I don't like them where they are. I want them in the middle of my chest. I want breasticles. Yeah? The arse, I don't like it round the back, I can't see what's going on. Pop that on the front where the bollocks were. I want my arse where I can look down and see what's going on. Can you do it?
I think it's just easier to move the head, isn't it?
Carl, when was the last time you reminisced?
Well, my mum and dad have been round, haven't they? So been reminiscing a lot.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about?
We're just chatting about Tic Tacs.
One of the great memories, yeah. The happy memories.
Now, I used to love them
Yeah.
when I was younger.
Yeah.
My dad got a load of them.
What,
Got-
this year?
No,
Just
no,
recently?
years
Oh,
ago.
years ago,
Like
right.
years ago when I loved them. I said I loved Tic Tacs, me.
Yeah.
He met one of his mates.
You didn't nick him from the sweet shop.
No,
No, that's what
no.
you
He
do,
knew some
yeah.
mate who could get his hand on a load,
Right.
and he
Thief,
must have
he was a
got
thief.
about he must have got about 30 crates of Tic Tacs.
30 crates of
Honestly,
Tic Tacs.
honestly, we'd have about 24 on each crate. We got them stuck them in a cupboard under the just in the kitchen in the corner.
Yeah.
Now I worked my way through about 6 crates. It's quite happy.
In how long?
I don't know, in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something.
Right.
And then after that, I'm getting sick of these.
Right.
Yeah. You were minty fresh, but you were sick.
lovely fresh breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't got that much more to tell you about it. It's just.
What do you
I
say?
just
Sorry,
remember-
whoa. Bear in mind, this was something he was recently reminiscing with his parents about. They were sat round, and we've already learned up to an hour could go by reminiscing. Sat round for an hour, and it's talking about the
I've
great
already
Tic
run
Tac
out of
saga.
responses. I've got
Yeah.
nothing to say about
No
that.
opinion.
I
It
mean,
was-
I was nearly going to say, what do you do with the empty little flicky Tic Tac boxes?
And
I
then you
mean,
realise that that's utterly dull and boring.
well,
and not
I
of any
just, I
interest.
was struggling. I don't know what this anecdote is, other than a bloke. Other than you said your dad, I like Tic Tacs, mate. He went, all right, I talked to Albert. Albert, you got Tic Tacs? I've got 30 crates, if that'll do, yeah? Yeah, bring him round. Put him under cupboard. He's got through 12 crates. What's his breath like? Fucking lovely, but he's been sick all over the cunting place. Oh, do you want some more? No, of course we fucking don't. You'll talk about that in a few years' time. Of course we will, for about a fucking hour.
No.
Then we bring it up in an audio book.
But I think that's how we got onto it, because even though I tried to get rid of a load, I used to give them to mates, take them to school, say, have some Tic Tacs, you can have them for free. We used a load in the cat litter tray.
No. No,
we
you
did.
didn't.
We did. It
No,
was
you
just
didn't.
ways of getting rid of them.
Jesus Christ.
Sort of freshy smell, isn't it?
That's
it's the same
amazing.
sort of condensity in that, isn't it?
Condensity, it is the same condensity.
Condensity.
Yeah, so I got rid of them like that. And then the weird thing was, even though I'd got shut of them all, you'd be backing up and you'd always hear one ting its way up the tube.
It's tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. Ding tong, ping pong. It's tinging its way up the tube.
That sounds like something from Willy Wonka.
Oh
No,
God.
it's just I'm just demonstrating that because that's how many of them there were around the house. You'd drop them, they'd go in every corner and that, like that kind of something. They'd be everywhere. You'd be backing
amazing.
up, tinging it up.
Sheila's getting married. Hannah gets confetti. Don't buy any confetti. Go to cupboard under stairs.
So yeah, that's a little memory there, isn't it?
It
That
is a
just
little
cropped up.
memory.
Now
It's a really little memory.
The strange Tic Tac house in Salford, where everything is made of Tic Tacs.
Wow, that must have been a hell
That's
of a time you had with your parents there. The
Oh.
old Tic Tac
No, but it's
reminiscence.
better. You see, you're saying, oh, what a boring story that is. But when
I see
your mum
you've
and dad,
re-gravelled the drive. Yeah, smell it. suck the drive if you want.
no, but it's different. When my mum and dad are there and they can remember that, and they're going, oh yeah, the Tic Tac incidents and stuff.
What's known as the Tic Tac incident.
The Tic Tac
Let us never speak of the Tic Tac incident.
I just imagine the clock ticking. There, it's Christmas Day. I go, what are you smiling at? Oh, remember it used to ting up the tube.
You should think about selling this to Hollywood.
Listen, what do you remember then?
What
do I remember?
That's
Wow.
an amazing thing to
That's
say.
a difficult question to answer.
Yeah, I don't. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Athlete, West Side. I still like that one.
It's a good track.
Yeah, I was worried it's a bit novelty, it would go off very quickly. But it's good.
No,
Really
it's not
melodic.
bad at all.
On XFM 104.9, I'm Richard Mays, with me Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Steve.
Well, we were talking about the news just now, and there was a story I heard in the week. I think it was on the radio, and I don't know all the details. But what I heard was that a number of, I think it was Falkland, maybe Gulf War veterans, were, I think, suing or complaining to the government because they wanted compensation for post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but it seems to me that if you're in the army and you're a soldier, a certain degree of trauma is kind of inevitable. I mean, after all, if you're any good at your job, you are going to see people getting killed. So I don't understand what the ins and outs of it are. I don't know why.
No, right, when he came back and Tony Blair met him and go, alright, well not really, no. Go on, what's the matter? Well, if there was people shooting at us and everything, it was all muddy. Well, calm down, don't cry. Well, I will.
There was a drill sergeant just kept shouting, saying, "Look at you, stupid boy! Where's this
he's
gun's
got
not
trained,
clean?" And I
hasn't
just
he?
cleaned the gun, and it was fine. And now he's telling me to clean it again.
Yeah, and the boots, they were shiny.
fine, he was
Well, he's
showing.
got to do that, it's more
His
distant.
neck was as big as his head.
Well, yeah, but you don't know what they, you know.
I don't know what the ins and outs of it are, but
what you got to do is make sure you know what you're going into. That's what I do. You got to check the small print. So if I was, you know, going over to like the Falklands or you know the Gulf, I'd put my hand up and go, will it be horrible? I go, you look like yes, will it be horrible? It will be horrible. Yes, it will be horrible. There will be shooting and lots of death and everything. I go, right, I'm not going to go. And they go,
Exactly.
okay then. Okay.
that should be fine. Yeah.
Should be fine, yeah, just like that. Is anyone else scared about this? Pretty much all of us. Okay, then we won't send anyone then.
Exactly.
My brother went into the army, right? Because he couldn't get a normal job, and my dad said, you know, if you don't get a job by such a date, that's it, son. You're going in the army. And, so when was the Falklands? Was it about
81.
Right? And he joined back in like 81 or something. And he I don't know, he was in Aldershot or something.
Oh yeah.
And he wrote back to my mum saying, you know, what a bad time to join, bad time in this. So she wrote.
What bad time to join? That's so sweet, Carl, isn't it? That's like, dear Dad, yeah, well done.
Don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah. I was on the dole, that's for sure. Thank you for joining a month before the Belgrano.
Anyway,
go on.
My mum called up, spoke to the sergeant, and said, "Can you leave him out of this one?
Can you leave him out of this one? What, the Falkland War?
He's only just joined," and she called him Chuck, which he got done for. Like, she's one of them, I think it's a northern thing, like saying, "How are you, Chuck?"
Yeah.
And she called the sergeant Chuck, and the sergeant said to my brother, "Your mum, you know, she's called up and asked if you can not go," which, of course, you know, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But can you
What?
tell
What
her-
do you mean? Why did the sergeant even entertain this?
Well,
Pilkington, come here. Your mum's been giving me a bit of earache. Now listen, tell her I've told you, but can you call her, because she called me Chuck and everything. Can you call her and say you don't mind? Well, not really. Oh, please, because I've promised her say you want to go. No, please, say you want to go. Why was he entertaining this phone call?
probably because he was new.
What?
Because he was new to the army, I suppose.
Who? No, I mean the
your brother.
sergeant.
I don't know, maybe they do that.
So what happened? He didn't go in the end?
So he didn't go, no.
You can't do it.
that's ludicrous.
I love it though. Oh, we went over the top. Pilkington,
I-
I've got a note. Yeah. Is this really your mum? Yeah. Okay. No, this seems to be in order.
Because I noticed it says, I do not want to go into the army, I don't want to go and fight, and it's crossed out and it says, my mum says don't
Yeah.
go. Now, you didn't write this yourself?
No,
did you,
no, my mum
Pilkington?
wrote this. Okay.
definitely
Pilkington,
wrote this yourself.
Your excuse. You're going to have to fill envelopes.
No, I'm sure if he was needed, he would have had to go, but I think they made a bit of a special effort. They sort of said, oh.
Well, it wasn't conscription anyway. Oh no, obviously.
But
he was
were
in
the other
army,
soldiers
wasn't
going
he?
around just going,
Pilkington.
No, he ended up being a mechanic in there, and he got kicked out for going for a packet of fags in a tank.
what?
Now wait a minute. Do you mean he nipped down the shops
Yeah.
in a tank?
Yeah.
I don't believe that, Carl, you've made
Honest
that
to
up.
God. That, and he went off with the sergeant's wife. So that didn't help, and he ended up getting kicked out.
Sorry, your brother's a genius.
I love this. First of all, he gets a call from his mum, go and let him up, and he goes, oh God. Then he goes, where's Pilkington? His mum's on the phone. Where is he? He's near your house, Sergeant. Near my house? Well, why is... No reason. Well, when he comes back, when he's finished, tell him his mum called. And can he get me a packet of fags? Tell him to walk this time. This is ludicrous.
So the sergeant found out that he was
Yeah,
sleeping with his wife?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
Did,
was
did
quite
your
young.
mum phone up and say, let him off?
Let him off this
marshal him.
time. Can he... Yeah. That's fantastic.
But he misses it. I mean, I haven't seen him for about 11 years. But ever since he came out, he's just kept getting into trouble and that. And the army, you know, people slag it off, but I think if you're a certain type of person, it's good for
It
you.
didn't straight him in, did it?
No.
He was going down the shops in a tank, he was shagging someone
No,
behind
but
their back.
it's
Yeah.
really weird. It's like back then, he was like a proper adult, and he had a house, and he collected crystal with his wife and that. And now, he hasn't got any of that.
Has he got the wife?
No,
Has he got the crystal?
don't think he has.
And he has got the
I
house.
seriously haven't seen him for about 11 or 12 years.
Oh,
so I haven't even spoken
it
to
always
him.
Carl's stories always start off nice and funny, and then they just leave me empty and slightly depressed. I don't know whether to hug him or shoot him, put him out of his misery. Can we take Carl to the phone in if you think I should take Carl to the vet and have him put down? Because it's just too stressful. Hyde's main offender, XFM 104.9. Wow, it's that time in the show where I test Carl on his
Homework.
yeah, for the week. History. the re-education of Karl Pilkington. As you know, we found out last week that he'd taken one GCSE and he got an E, and it was history.
Do you know, Steve, I haven't told you this, went shopping on Sunday, buy some new jeans, was in a shop, saw an old lad who I haven't seen for about 2.5 years, went, "You alright mate, how are you doing?" First thing he said, "Sorry to hear about your exam results."
God.
I
Had
just-
he listened to the show, or someone had
yeah,
just told
yeah,
him?
he was on a train listening to it on the way to a football match or something.
He knew that you were on the show, did he? He was a
Yeah.
regular listener.
First thing he said,
Wow.
"So sorry about your exam results."
Haven't people have been coming up to you in the station going, "You
Yeah,
alright,
right.
do you want to talk about it?" Or
God.
I know.
well, you did take it pretty badly for a 29-year-old man.
Just a bit of a shock, because it annoyed me that... I
It
did-
wasn't a shock. You
No.
knew you hadn't got any.
No, I thought I'd have got a bit more than that. I wasn't expecting, you know...
But you didn't even think you took history, so that must have been a bonus.
Yeah, that's what my girlfriend said.
Yeah.
Well,
But didn't
yes-
she say something quite philosophical, which was like, you know, you didn't even have an E this morning?
Yeah, she said yesterday, you know, you didn't have anything
yeah.
brought today,
Exactly.
which was good.
Teenage Fan Club. Oh, they're a good band,
They are a good band.
XFM 104.9. So, well, we're nearly there. So will your girlfriend be proud of you now? You performed a PhD graduate
It's a bit
there,
annoying because she's not in London today. She's in Sunderland or something, or Newcastle,
right?
working.
So she won't know what your greatest triumph. She saw last week's and you got an E in history, and now this week you come through
Yeah.
with some great praise that Mrs. Matthews never, you know, laid upon
Even
you, did
looked
she?
at. No.
No, just said you won't be a high flyer. Hey? You've shown them, haven't you?
You never know. I mean, I had mates who, like, you know, my mate Colin Makin, who
Sure.
did the disco with me.
Pilkins making music, yeah.
Pilkey's making music.
Yeah.
He was dead brainy. I don't think he's up to much these days.
Sure.
You
Just-
can't plan it.
Yeah.
Just goes to show.
Well, I mean, you can do, there's a certain amount of planning you can do. I mean, driving a tank down to the shops with some fags,
Yeah.
never going to mean you're a high flyer. You know?
And that woman who you picked up in your black cab, she's in a circus now and she
Yeah,
can
happy.
fly, which is good. Am I confusing that with a film? You went to see a film this week, didn't you?
Mm.
What did
did
you
you
see?
go
The Monsters Inc.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
have a little argument? What was the argument about? Did you have an argument with your girlfriend or something? Because of
Well, the history thing took over last weekend, to be honest, when you found out my results. That was like the talking topic of most of the weekend. And,
why? What did she
you know,
say?
you brought it on yourself. You know, why didn't you take it serious? You know.
Was she annoyed or upset?
Well, she just sort of said, "You can learn. Look, you learned Rasputin.
Mm.
You know, if only you did
You've
that."
done
at
that.
school."
You've done
Do you know what I mean?
Rasputin.
She said, "You can do it if you're told to." She said, "You know, it's only because Ricky's told you to read the book that you're reading it."
Does she think we're sort of like taskmasters?
Does she think we bully you?
Nah, she knows it's just a laugh.
Yeah. What did you tell your parents about your?
Nope.
No. Never.
Because they never even questioned where my results were, so I don't want to tell them that, you know, I didn't get any.
No. How did they do it at school?
I didn't have them back then, did they?
Right. When was that, Carl? The Middle Ages.
Ages.
I don't know. Like I say, back then it wasn't about getting results and that, was it? It was just about learning trades. I mean, my dad, right, he can, like, put windows in his house,
Yeah.
do plumbing.
He should. It's dark, isn't it? He's done that first of all. Right.
So he can do what? He's got a multitude of different
Yeah,
jobs.
he can do all sorts, do you know what I mean? If there's a problem in my flat, I can call him up and say, you know, this isn't working, what should I do? And he'll say, like,
Is that not a brain surgeon?
he'll say, oh, fix it.
Sure. So what about Monsters Inc? What did
Yeah.
you make of it?
So alright, it is a kid's film. It sort of annoyed
Is
me.
it?
Okay.
I was having like,
what gave that away? Do you think? Was it the songs? Was it the animation?
Yeah, the fluffy little things that squiggled round on the screen for an hour and a half.
it is annoying because like there's kids everywhere and kids don't watch films, do they?
No.
Do you know what I mean? They're messing.
I don't know why they make kids films.
And you
To
can't-
be honest, it's mental.
Can't concentrate properly when you've got kids, you know,
Screaming,
making
shouting.
noise around you and that.
Yeah.
So I'd say my little review. Wait until it comes out on DVD.
What a great review that would be! Wouldn't that be great? Film 2002.
Yeah.
Jonathan Ross going, well, I don't want to give it away. Wait till it comes out on DVD.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but not giving it away. It's just that you can't watch it properly when there's kids screaming around you.
Yeah.
sure.
Do you know what I mean?
What are you looking forward to this week? You going to go and see anything?
Just been talking to Ricky now because my missus is away. I'll probably get out a DVD tonight.
Yep.
Rounders.
Oh, right, okay.
I thought you might like that.
And if you can
gambling,
I mean, if I can get you tickets, say in the stalls or in a box for the stage version of Midnight Express, would you be up for that?
yeah, it's on ice.
I think it's the final year, isn't it?
It's lovely. It's Midnight Express on ice.
Yeah.
And it's a musical as well.
They're on roller
Do
skates.
you have any dope under your jacket? No.
Yeah. It's
And
well worth hunting out.
it's great. John Hurt is actually in this version as well, which is fantastic.
It is
He played
brilliant.
the Elephant Man. So the universe all comes together.
Have you ever seen the stage version of The Elephant Man?
No.
You'd love that.
Yeah.
Who's in that? I have seen a clip of it. Who plays him?
I think they got a real guy with elephantitis.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you finishing on?
Let's have a final song for the ladies. It's from the album Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me by The Cure, and it's The Beautiful Catch. See you next
Goodbye.
week.
See you next week, everybody. Bye bye.